everyone, Kat here, your favorite ginger bibliophile. Hope y'all doing really well, and I hope you're in the mood for a nice archaeological action-packed thriller, because that's what I've got for you today. But if not, check the description box below for all the puppies and kitties and all the other bookish fun. So what book am I going to tell you about? Well, y'all should know by now. It's James Rollins. I finished his latest, thriller, Arkangel, and so I got some thoughts. It was not my favorite of him, but I still really loved it. If y'all don't know, this is the 18th book in his Sigma Force series, and it always starts off with the prologue of, hey, here's something that happened in the past, and then we're going to jump to the current day, and oh crap, something else is going on. That's going to call back to, whatever that prologue is of some historical thing. There's always a mixture of new tech. And we gotta save the world from some rich bad guys. And half the time, there's also a, hey, we left on a cliffhanger on the last book, and we're gonna get into it in this one. So I'm gonna have to leave some stuff out if y'all haven't read the last book, because that epilogue was freaking everything. So we kind of knew some stuff that our heroes did not know, because we know who did what at the end of the last book. But that being said, this one, it deals with the Arctic and a continent that I didn't even know not exactly a continent, but a area that I did not know was even a thing. Much like Atlantis, we have Hyperborea. I think I'm saying that right. It's been like a week. But I had never heard of that one, and apparently it's out, in the middle of the Arctic, which is a very contested area, and of course, timely as always, the Russians are some bad people. In multiple ways in this case. And they're trying to get in there and go, we're going to find this lost land, and we're going to rule it, and plus we'll be expanding Russia, and everyone will have to bow to us as the new, home of the church. And whatever stuff we find there. So, and of course the guild is like, we got to clean up the mess of the last book. Oh, we gotta stop these up-to-no-good Russians that are killing some folks, including some church folks being killed by other church folks. Can't be trusting a man. But yeah, for me, this one, the science and then all the history, it was definitely there. We have our bit of a Catherine the Great and Ivan the Terrible. We get some of the history, and of course we have the whole. There's a new freaking place to find that people have been looking for centuries. And a lost library, which is kind of cool. But it didn't hit as hard for me as it usually does. And the tech wasn't as much there. The last, third of the book was, oh my gosh, it's freaking happening. All this stuff is going down. And we do get some cool stuff, but we have Kowalski in this book. My favorite freaking character. He is, he's always down on himself as he's the dummy of the group. Because Sigma Force is basically, here, we have all this former military. Some of them discharge honorably, some not so much. But they're very specialized, and they're also incredibly smart. And then you have poor Kowalski, who, if you've been following for a while, you might or might not remember him from Ice Hunt, where there was also Russians in the Arctic. And he decided he was done with the Navy and never going back there after what happened in that book. And I do not blame him. But he's a dumb muscle that loves blowing stuff up. He's their demolitionist and bodyguard. And so there's jokes of, he's not going to get to blow stuff up because we got this guy. And usually he's the one that gets to play with all the new tech. And usually Monk needs a new hand because, he has a fake hand and he always ends up blowing it up because there's always a little C4 in it. But he didn't get to test out a new version of his hand, and so that was kind of disappointing. But this was definitely 4-star for me, but that's a low rating for a James Rollins novel for me. Because I struggle with that, and trying to keep everything straight. Because if I can't pronounce a name, I'm going to get it confused. It's a good thing Sauron and Saruman are both bad guys in Lord of the Rings, or that would have been a very different story for me, because to this day, I get them confused sometimes, so. we got a bunch of different Russian characters. I'm getting it all mixed up. And the group kept kind of like coming together and splitting up in different bits. I'm like, wait, they were just... Oh, no, never mind. They already got back together and went off with these people instead. So, part of it was just, I could not keep it straight. Maybe it's because I read it with other stuff going on in my life at the time. But I was getting a little bit confused there. But I do love that we have an additional doggy in this book. Kane has had a buddy that he got in one of the other books ago. I think 2 books ago now. And Marco he's up there with Kowalski as my favorite. Actually, he might win because he's a doggy and he's adorable. And he totally helped his buddy out. Like, you was just going to be another sketchy American dude. But you got a pair of doggies and no sane girl can turn that down. So, yep. They turned the tide in the story and yep, Doggy has some personality and it was so freaking adorable and smart alecky and I loved it. And we get Session back, doing her thing, which there is some debate about her. Like, Adriana has some views, and if y'all haven't checked out her channel, you need to. I will link her down below. But, like, Session is her favorite character, and they kind of did her dirty. Like, she was a guild assassin, and now she's working with Sigma Force. And now she has a baby with Gray. And they are, like, the last ones that should be having babies. And so, like, there's a lot of things that, women are not supposed to say, especially when it comes to kids and our feelings towards them. Session says all that, thoughts that you're not supposed to be having out loud. What she does about them sometimes makes sense. Sometimes, like, okay, y'all need to start being adults and have a discussion and change some things. But, like, I don't get why they had a kid, but at some time, I kind of like that he's using her as going, hey, you should be allowed to say these things. Like, yeah, I love my kid. Don't get me wrong, but I miss that I could do X, Y, and Z without worrying about the baby, back before I had the baby. It's like, that part was fun. I can't do that anymore because that would be irresponsible. Would I trade the two? No, but that don't mean I don't miss this. But you're not supposed to say that. In a lot of groups, like, hey, that's supposed to be your goal in life. And Session just says screw you to all of that. And says it. And does it. And it's awesome. But, yeah. So we got Session. We got Kowalski, who he gets to have a little bit of his fun. And I love his reactions to being back in the Arctic. That poor big bald gorilla. So, should y'all read this? If you like action and history and science and keep all the Russian stuff straight, yes. I struggled with it, so it was only 4 stars for me. But y'all already know, it's James Rollins. There was no way I was not going to read this book. And if I didn't love it, I would be very, very sad. Because I pre-ordered it not even knowing what it was about. Because, yes. So, do with that what you will. Hopefully y'all will enjoy it even more than I did. And I will see you soon. Bye. Happy reading.